Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to What's the Damage. You know, I've been doing these a little more often lately because I've done so many mixers, you know, that I kind of want to make up for it and do some more What's the Damages, you know, because I do have a lot of stuff to complain about, even though not lately, but well, some of them can make good damage videos, others can't, so I kind of like do that the way that I can and try to keep it the way it is. But the thing is that, well guys, today's topic is a little bit complicated. I'm sure you guys know at this point that I love video games. I am an avid gamer. I do many gameplays on this channel, you know, and the last game that I played here was NHL Rewind, you know, from 1994, and like playing through that game, after I played, edited, and uploaded it, it kind of got me thinking about something, you know, kind of like a topic that I think would be really nice to address here on this channel, because the gaming industry has changed a lot throughout the years, ever since the 90s, you know, and today games are known for being much more controversial for different reasons as back in the day, you know, because like in the early 90s, Doom was unleashed onto the world, and the biggest controversy there was the excessive violence, you know, the blood and the gore, and how it was connected to other things happening, like for example the Columbine shooting, you know. So games have always been surrounded in controversies as the years have gone by. However, in recent years there have been things that are a little more complex to understand, you know, and wrap your head around. And I'm going to be talking about what might just be the worst one today in this industry, which is microtransactions. Okay, in case you guys don't know, if you're not in the gaming lingo, you don't really know too much about how it works. Microtransactions are essentially ways for gaming companies, you know, the creators, the game developers, to make more money off of their games by making players buy content inside of the game to have a bigger advantage over others, you know. Essentially, it's a way for you to get better weapons, you know, or better armor, or just better features and advantages over your opponents because you actually paid for these advantages, and the other ones who play the game for free don't have access to them, you know. It's F2P, which is F2P. It sounds funny when I say it that way. Free to play, and P2P, which is pay to play. Okay, so basically the way that it works is that this has been present more heavily in online games, you know, like RuneScape, League of Legends, World of Warcraft, Dota, games like that. But console and PC games, you know, they go hand in hand with this. And there was a lot of controversy in with Star Wars Battlefront, the remake, you know, in 2017. Where you had to grind so many hours to get a certain character that you wanted to play as, you know, but then other people who could afford to could just buy them with microtransactions and get them much faster, you know. So like the way that it works is like it sets you up to look better than other players, you know, but essentially it just shows that you can afford to something that they can't, you know. And it's really controversial for different reasons, because a lot of gamers, me for example, I like to play games just for the hell of playing them, for entertainment, because at the end of the day, games are made for entertainment, you know. They are there to just make us have fun and forget about our problems, you know. Games are essentially products of entertainment, you know. I've never denied this, and like I don't have anything against people who can afford to buy things in the game. That's totally you. I just don't see why I should waste my money on this, you know. Like why? Like I like this game in particular. My character would look really good with a different set of armor, but why would I pay real life money to buy this in the game, and like probably not even anybody would see? Like if it's an offline game where you just play solo, like why, you know? It doesn't make any sense. And I don't know, if my YouTube channel ever picks up and I have much more money to burn, you know, maybe I would buy some cool stuff just for the sake of recording YouTube videos, but then again, I would have a big audience to show off to, so that would explain why. But just for the sake of buying it so you can sort of like flex for yourself doesn't really make sense to me. Now, obviously, this is an overlying problem for different reasons. You know, one of them is kids, you know. A younger generation might be a little more susceptible to buying things, you know, because they are much more attracted to the appeal that these items in the game will give to them, you know. And sometimes they have access to their parents' credit cards, so they just buy a bunch of random crap, you know. They max out the credit cards, they make their parents be in debt, you know. And this is actually more the parents' fault than the kids, because if you give your kids access to your credit cards, this was already a problem back in the day when I was younger playing video games, you know. I accidentally bought something using my dad's credit card once, and he got really pissed, you know, and it was a cheap thing. So but I can imagine that today it might be even worse. You know, kids have their own credit cards, parents don't really care anymore, you know. But back in the day, It was a real scandalous thing, you know, and I think that it does get worse as time goes by because microtransactions today are ridiculous, man, you know. It seems like every single game already has add-ons and DLC that you have to buy to see more of the game, you know, and with a game like Batman Arkham Knight, you know, or Grand Theft Auto 5, there's already so much stuff to do, you know. It's really hard for you to 100% these games all the way, man. The Batman game has the freaking Riddler trophies, and GTA is a literal city for you to explore with so many things to do, hundreds of things to do. So you have access to all of this and you somehow feel the need to buy DLC. Like, you still want more, you still somehow feel like the game is incomplete without the DLC. This is one of the things that most bothers me because it doesn't make any sense. Like, there's already such an ocean of content for you in some of these games, you know, so why do you feel the need to buy more? Like, you're just making the gaming companies richer, man. You're literally just part of the problem, you know. Like me, for example, I'm complaining about this, so it wouldn't make sense for me to buy something, buy any microtransaction, because it would just make me a hypocrite, you know. Wouldn't make any sense at all. So essentially what I'm trying to say is that it's not that it's wrong, you know, everybody can do what they want to do. I'm not trying to judge you guys, but I think it's wrong for there to be so many microtransactions in the gaming industry today because it almost takes away from the essence of gaming itself. You know, I enjoy gaming, man. It's a really cool way to pass the time, to relax, you know, just to consume entertainment in a much more innocent way than I normally would, you know. So it's really weird when the games that I love to play have so many microtransactions that sometimes I can barely see the original game, you know. The original game itself ends up being so limited that it's like, wait, so if I have to actually buy DLC to see the full game practically, you know. Sports games aren't like this, you know. They do offer a lot of premium content, but I've never really cared too much about it. Like sports games, like all of the teams are there, all of the game modes are there, you know. You don't have to pay extra to get any extra game modes, you know. You pay extra just to get maybe some rare player cards in Ultimate Team or something, but I'm starting to play more sports game now because of this, you know, because there is not a lot of microtransactions, and the ones that there are just useless in my opinion, you know. Okay, now of course for the gaming companies involved, for the game developers, they don't think it's wrong because they're making more money, you know. I have never gotten to a point in my life, a financial point, you know, where I have made so much money that I like, you know, it's like, I don't know, to the point of being a rich game developer, like you have so much money already and you just feel like there's, I don't know, I've never gotten to a point where I've felt like I need, well actually no, I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore, man, I'm getting lost here. But when you, okay, I've never gotten to a point in my life where I had so much money that I couldn't think of the idea of getting more and it being enough. You know, I always did want more, but then again, I mean, the most that I ever made in my life was about like nearly 2,000 reais per month, you know, so that was pretty good for me to live off on my own and buy my stuff. So like if I was a millionaire, I mean, eventually money does run out if you just spend it, you know, lavishly and don't invest. But when you have so much money, like you're a game developer, man, you're a company who makes games, a successful game company. So you're always going to have revenue coming in no matter what you do, you know. It's like musicians who go for years without touring. They're still making money with their music, you know. So even though this happens, like maybe they feel a necessity to make even more money, you know. It's like YouTubers who make a lot with AdSense and they still feel the need to offer premium content, you know, membership to their channel so they can make even more money, you know. It doesn't make sense. Like you already have a channel that already enough makes a lot of money, you know, and you will have the option to sell merchandise to your fans. That's totally fine. I would if I could as well. But there are YouTubers who just get by fine without doing it, you know, and then you want to add a premium a feature, you know, where now people can sign up and give your channel more money just so they can see content that other people can't see, you know, which I think is really sleazy and unfair, but that's a video for another day. But microtransactions, man, have they killed off the gaming industry? Obviously not, you know. It's an industry that is still making a lot of money and is very successful right now, but I do have a strong opinion that in the future, this could spell the end of gaming as we know it, you know. Games will always continue to be fabricated and made, and I will continue to play them for as long as I can. But I think that eventually people might actually start to get peeved, you know, and start boycotting, you know. They might, like me, for example, I've been like, I haven't really boycotted EA, but I do, like, I don't give them any money. I don't buy their games. I used to have EA Play on my EA Access, which turned into EA Play on Xbox One, which is now part of Xbox Game Pass anyway, but I will never give any money directly to EA by buying a game from them, you know, because I know how much they suck. But again, a topic for another day. Man, this video might spawn like 2 or 3 spin-offs later in What's the Damage, you know, random complaints. But I really don't think there's any more I can say, guys. I just wanted to get my opinion out there. You know, this really sucks. There are way too many microtransactions right now in this medium, and I think it's just starting to get a little stale, you know, and somebody like me who can't afford the things that games put out, it's really frustrating for me. And even if I could afford it, like I said before earlier, I don't think I would. I don't think there's any reason to waste money on this, you know, but that's just my opinion, you know. I'm entitled to it, and you guys are entitled to yours. Speaking of which, shout out in the comments below, letting me know what you think about this. If you're somebody who actively consumes microtransactions, if you buy things in games, or if you're like me and you just avoid it, you know, play the games for the hell of it, the way they come. And if you happen to like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel, because I release videos every single day, and hit the notification button to know exactly what time I upload, because I do that completely at random. Okay, that's it for now. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen.